The Amazon rainforest is one of the most mysterious places on Earth, filled with secrets we've barely begun to uncover. Its dense foliage and countless dangers make it one of the few regions where exploration remains a challenge. But deep within its untamed wilderness, true giants lurk, monstrous creatures of all shapes and sizes that dominate their domain. From massive serpents to terrifying river predators, here are the 20 largest Amazon monsters ever discovered. Number 20. The harpy eagle. Even if birds aren't exactly the most pressing environmental concern in the Amazon, it's worth noting that there are plenty of them if you know where to search. Not only that, but the harpy eagle is one of several exotic, plain-looking birds. Another top predator native to the Amazon, this eagle is one of the biggest on the planet. They can swoop down from the sky, grab their victim with their talons, and then disappear before the victim knows what's happening. The enormous talons are capable of applying pressure and force equal to several hundred kilograms, which can break the bones of its victim and kill them instantaneously. So, it's definitely something they can do. The fact that they live quite lengthy lives is probably the most surprising thing about them. Their reputed 35-year lifespan makes them an ever-present danger in the Amazon. They aren't a major concern for people, unfortunately. Number 19. The black caiman. In the Amazon, crocodiles and alligators flourish in an ideal environment for sure, but also no. Though we aren't formally discussing either of those things here, it is undeniably a great spot for them to rule the local fauna. The black caiman, on the other hand, is a crocodile. There is no Amazonian ecology without the black caiman, the biggest predator there. This predator has the ability to devour any animal within its range, even other predators. For the record, we're referring to the biggest snake, not the longest, since the latter would go to a specific snake mentioned earlier in the movie. However, you should be wary of the caiman because it is so dangerous that it can attack anything or anyone in this enormous rainforest. And just in case you were wondering, the black caiman has attacked humans before and will attack again. Its stated goal is to exterminate humanity from this planet. Its ability to blend in with the local waters thanks to its dark skin tone makes it one of the most dangerous creatures on our list. Because it hunts at night, it blends in flawlessly with its surroundings, allowing it to sneak up on its victim unaware that danger lurks right next to them. Also, contrary to popular belief, these hideous creatures are perfectly capable of capturing any kind of food. They just don't bite it to death. Instead, in a cruel twist of fate, they will seize the animal, drag it into the water, and then slowly eat it until it drowns. Be cautious around caiman-inhabited waters at all times of day and night, as its whereabouts are usually unknown until it's too late. Number 18. The tapir. Coming up next is a beast that, to be honest, we aren't convinced deserves the nickname monster, but it's still worth keeping an eye out for. Over the course of millions of years, the tapir has evolved into its modern form. So far as that is concerned, not much has changed throughout that period because it hasn't evolved like the rest of Earth's species. It can be considered a primitive creature. Having said that, you must not make fun of this beast just because it is lengthy and heavy. Its maximum weight is 400 kilograms, and its length can exceed 2 meters. Therefore, it most certainly has mass. Although they are frequently preyed upon by local predators such as crocodiles and big cats, they are able to fend off their attackers with their formidable bites and exceptionally strong hides. Despite their rudimentary appearance, these creatures are vital to the rainforest environment and have mastered the art of survival. Number 17. The giant stingray. Be warned, this enormous beast poses a real threat to human safety if you aren't cautious. The huge stingray, on the other hand, is typically a solitary fish that prefers to swim alone in rivers and other waterways. The largest stingray ever captured was 4 meters long and more than 300 kilograms in weight. This enormous fish was caught in Asia, not South America, so the length of the stinger is something you can only guess at. Just so we're clear, the stinger is definitely something to be afraid of. Additionally, it contains chemicals that might cause harm to humans. Yet these organisms are not hostile. You won't have to worry about it hurting you if you stay away from them. The moral of the story is to use your brain, and everything will work out fine until you mess up. The stinger will pierce your flesh and, in certain cases, even your bones. Number 16. The Amazonian manatee. This kind of beast probably wasn't what you were hoping to see on the list. Even if most people wouldn't think of an Amazonian manatee as a monster, you can't deny that it's a big fish that has gotten unwanted attention and is now in danger of extinction. Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Brazil are just a few of the Amazon basin countries where you can see Amazonian manatees. Their natural habitats include lush aquatic vegetation, deep linkages to large rivers, and bodies of water such as oxbows, lagoons, and blackwater lakes. These monsters would never deliberately harm another living thing. They are the epitome of a mild giant. Unfortunately, they are now a threatened species due to the fact that humans have hunted them for a long period. Furthermore, Their population numbers are difficult to track, so the exact number of them remains a mystery. Number 15. The green iguana. The green iguana might not seem like it belongs on an Amazon monster list at first, but like anything else, there are ways for something seemingly harmless to turn into something really dangerous. While the green iguana has a reputation for being docile and a popular pet, it is also one of the most destructive invasive animals in the Americas. Invasive species abound in Florida because humans bring in exotic animals and then release them into the wild. This is something you might recall from your history of such creatures. The green iguana was a member. It is so invasive in Florida that some people's occupations require them to gently exterminate iguanas so they don't reproduce. Give that some thought. Oh, and in case you were wondering, it was truly featured on Mike Rowe's Dirty Jobs. Now it's time for today's topic. It's finally confirmed. A group of researchers and local hunters in the heart of the Amazon have captured what could be the largest living snake ever documented. Some are calling it a living Titanoboa, while others believe it is an undiscovered species of anaconda, dwarfing anything previously recorded. The snake, measuring an estimated 40 feet in length and weighing nearly a ton, was found deep in an untouched region of the Amazon rainforest, where locals have long told stories of monstrous serpents lurking in the rivers. The team followed reports of mysterious disappearances of large animals and strange disturbances in the water before finally encountering the beast. Unlike any anaconda ever seen, this snake has unusual ridges along its spine and an ancient-looking head structure, leading some to believe it could be a surviving descendant of the prehistoric Titanoboa, which was thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago. Authorities and wildlife experts are now working to analyze the creature, but some speculate that official agencies might suppress the discovery to prevent mass panic. Whether this is a Titanoboa or a new species entirely, one thing is clear: something massive is still lurking in the Amazon. Number 14. Giant armadillo. A gigantic armadillo isn't exactly a cause for frequent panic attacks. Why, therefore, is it included here? The title features a gigantic creature, so that's why indeed. Monsters in this place require stricter regulations. What is the armadillo's size, actually? It's capable of reaching a weight of 54 kilograms and a length of 100 centimeters. Being a big boy, it is, but as I said before, its size shouldn't make you scared of it. As an example, a termite mound can be devoured whole by a huge armadillo, which typically feeds on termites and a few types of ants. Compared to the anteater, it is thus somewhat more aggressive. That should give you some idea of its hunger levels and the conditions under which it feels satisfied. Number 13. The giant anteater. Even a little ant would think the enormous anteater was terrifying, but should we humans be scared? What you fear is subjective and depends on your definition of a monster. One example is the giant anteater, which is known to be as large as a golden retriever and is considered a true giant among its relatives. Its olfactory perception is second to none and even surpasses that of humans, which could be terrifying now that it's 40 times stronger than the typical person realizes. Can locate all those anthills that it enjoys snacking on with ease. What makes this interesting is that it won't devour the colony indefinitely. The species may feast for a minute or two while it is caught off guard, but then it goes on because it is genuinely susceptible to ant bites. Number 12. The golden poison dart frog. Now, it's not often that we get to discuss the dangers of frogs, but even if you want to get all biblical and mention specific plagues, it wasn't a fatal thing. The Egyptians found it extremely frustrating. However, something concerning can be found with every species due to the unpredictable nature of nature. Also, the golden poison dart frog, also known as the poison dart frog, is an extremely dangerous animal that you should never, ever, ever touch. This is due to the fact that their skin is covered in a very lethal toxin that is produced by their bodies. So, in the event that their predators consider pursuing them, the frog can end the matter amicably by poisoning them with a touch or, failing that, letting the poison devour them from the inside out. Oddly enough, no one knows how the frog maintains immunity to its own poison despite the fact that it is so lethal. It probably developed an immunity to its own self-defense mechanism, so it can emit it without being eaten. The native inhabitants of Colombia discovered the lethal toxin, killed the frogs in a safe way, and then placed the poison on the ends of their darts, which is why the frog is known as the golden poison dart frog. Hitting their victim with the point was all it took to bring them down. That ought to provide some further measure of its efficacy. Do yourself a favor and stay away from any golden frogs you may encounter in the Colombian Amazon rainforest. Doing so might add years to your life expectancy. Number 11. Arapaima. When fully grown, an arapaima can reach a length of about 3 meters, making it the largest freshwater fish in the world. If you were to catch one of these fish, the saying, "that's a big catch," would certainly fit. However, it is not a monster because of its length. It is certainly beneficial, but its hideous appearance is due to its armor. Indeed, that fish has armor. Underneath the mineralized hard outer layer of its scales, which has a corrugated appearance, are numerous layers of collagen fibers arranged in some manner. These scales are so tough that they can withstand the bites of piranhas, one of the most feared predators in the Amazon. Scientists have studied the arapaima scales to develop new materials for body armor and protective gear, inspired by their unique combination of strength and flexibility. Despite its size and armor, the arapaima is a gentle giant, feeding primarily on fish, crustaceans, and even small land animals that fall into the water. It uses a unique hunting technique, creating a vacuum with its powerful jaws to suck in prey in a single gulp. The arapaima is also known for its ability to leap out of the water, a behavior that has been observed when it is startled or hunting near the surface. Unfortunately, overfishing and habitat destruction have led to a decline in arapaima populations, making conservation efforts critical to their survival. In some areas, local communities have implemented sustainable fishing practices to protect this iconic species, while still benefiting from its economic value. With all that armor on it, it still manages to be remarkably nimble and agile in the water. It may live in fresh water, but it must constantly come to the surface to breathe the surface oxygen. Number 10. The giant river otter. Here, we will shift our focus to a creature that, in comparison to many of the others we will be talking about, is actually rather cute. However, it is on the verge of extinction because humans labeled it a monster. This is the giant river otter. They are, in fact, enormous. It is the largest member of the otter family, reaching a maximum length of 1.8 meters when fully grown. These otters are highly social animals, living in family groups of up to 20 individuals, and they communicate using a variety of vocalizations, including whistles, growls, and screams. Their diet consists mainly of fish, but they are opportunistic hunters and will also eat crustaceans, small mammals, and even snakes. Giant river otters are known for their playful behavior, often seen sliding down riverbanks or wrestling with each other, which makes them a joy to observe in the wild. Despite their playful nature, they are fiercely territorial and will defend their family groups from predators like jaguars and caimans. Habitat destruction, particularly the clearing of wetlands and rivers for agriculture and mining, has significantly reduced their range, making it harder for them to find food and shelter. Conservation efforts have been implemented in some areas, including protected reserves and anti-poaching laws, but enforcement remains a challenge. Their presence in the ecosystem is vital, as they help maintain the balance of fish populations in their habitats. However, was that enough to prevent their capture? The otter pelts were precious, so people hunted them in vast quantities for that reason. At one point, they were hunted only because they were a nuisance, so that's why they made it online in the end. Number 9. Jaguars. The presence of a big cat, or maybe several, in the Amazon rainforest is, of course, not shocking. One interesting fact is that the Americas are home to no other large cats but jaguars. Just so you know where you stand, the jaguar is third in size among cats after only tigers and lions. There is a marked difference between their behavior and hunting styles and those of the two large cats up above. Jaguars are known for their incredible bite force, which is the strongest of any big cat relative to their size, allowing them to pierce the skulls or shells of their prey with ease. Unlike lions, which rely on teamwork, or tigers, which stalk their prey for long periods, jaguars are ambush predators, using stealth and surprise to overpower their targets. Their diet is incredibly diverse, ranging from deer and capybaras to caimans and even anacondas, showcasing their adaptability as apex predators. Jaguars are also territorial animals, marking their ranges with scratches on trees and scent markings to ward off rivals. Their ability to swim and hunt in water gives them a unique advantage in the Amazon, where rivers and wetlands are abundant. In some cases, jaguars have been observed dragging prey much larger than themselves into trees or dense vegetation to eat in peace. Despite their fearsome reputation, jaguars are elusive and prefer to avoid humans, making sightings in the wild a rare and awe-inspiring experience. In contrast to tigers and lions, they lead lonely lives. They are not proud, they hunt alone, and they can swim well and are excellent swimmers and hunters. This allows them to reign supreme as Amazonian predators and, when they feel very daring, to hunt down other predators. Their strong jaws and slender bodies allow them to swiftly reach their targets and kill them with a single bite. Put simply, if you happen to cross paths with one, you should avoid messing with them. Number 8. The spectacled bear. Bears do, in fact, inhabit the Amazon jungle, but seeing a spectacled bear would be a truly remarkable experience, as it is the sole endemic species to South America. People have different opinions about spectacled bears because, well, they are bears. These bears are named for the distinctive white or cream-colored markings around their eyes, which resemble spectacles, though not all individuals have these markings. Spectacled bears are primarily found in the Andes Mountains, where they inhabit cloud forests, high-altitude grasslands, and even dry forests, showcasing their adaptability. They are excellent climbers and often build platforms in trees to rest or feed on fruits, making them one of the most arboreal bear species. Their diet consists mainly of plants, fruits, and cacti, though they occasionally eat small animals, making them more herbivorous than most other bears. Unfortunately, habitat loss due to deforestation and agricultural expansion has significantly reduced their range, pushing them closer to human settlements. This has led to increased conflicts with farmers, who fear for their livestock, even though spectacled bears rarely prey on cattle. Conservation efforts have included creating protected areas and working with local communities to promote coexistence and reduce hunting. Despite being an omnivore and not hostile towards humans unless threatened, people continue to hunt them because they are afraid they would attack their cattle. To their credit, conservationists have taken action to stop the poaching of this bear. Number 7. Capybara. You definitely need to have your humanity tested if you're the kind to go about calling capybaras monsters. Of course, they are rodents, but a fascinating kind of rodent. In fact, they make wonderful pets. At 60 centimeters in height and sporting those timeless expressions that give them the upper hand, the capybara is currently the largest rodent on the planet. Nothing can compare to this monstrosity, not even rats in New York City. Capybaras are highly social animals, often living in groups of 10 to 20 individuals, though larger groups of up to 100 have been observed during the dry season when water sources are scarce. Their social structure is complex, with dominant males leading the group and maintaining order, while the rest of the group cooperates in raising young and keeping watch for predators. They are excellent swimmers, with webbed feet that help them navigate rivers and wetlands with ease, and they can even sleep in the water with just their noses poking out for air. Capybaras are preyed upon by jaguars, anacondas, and caimans, but their ability to quickly dive into water often helps them escape. Interestingly, they have a symbiotic relationship with certain bird species, like the yellow-headed caracara, which perch on their backs to eat ticks and other parasites. Despite their size, capybaras are gentle and docile, which is why they are often seen peacefully coexisting with other animals, including ducks, turtles, and even crocodiles. Their calm demeanor and adorable appearance have made them internet sensations, with countless memes and videos celebrating their laid-back nature. Because they feed on aquatic plants and grasses and seek refuge on the water's edge, capybaras rely on water for survival. Plus, they can stay underwater for a few minutes in the event of a fear attack, allowing their attacker to become bored and flee. Capybaras are really quite popular as exotic pets, which goes to show that not everyone views them as monsters. Although they are gregarious creatures that struggle when left alone, you will likely need to purchase a pair at a time. Number 6. The Amazon River Dolphin. Now, you might think of dolphins as not living in a river, but there are plenty of them who do, and the Amazon River dolphin is the large one that resides in the Amazon's water. They are, in fact, over 2.4 meters in length and can sometimes be a rather pinkish color. Not something that you would expect from a dolphin, but there it is. Their pinkish hue becomes more pronounced as they age, and it is believed to be caused by scar tissue from rough play or fights with other dolphins. These dolphins are highly intelligent and have been observed using their long, flexible snouts to hunt for fish in the muddy riverbeds. Unlike their oceanic cousins, Amazon river dolphins have unfused neck vertebrae, allowing them to turn their heads in all directions, which is a useful adaptation for navigating the dense underwater vegetation. They are also known to eat a wide variety of prey, including fish, crabs, and even small turtles, making them versatile hunters in their environment. Unfortunately, their habitats are under constant threat from pollution, deforestation, and the construction of dams, which disrupt the delicate balance of the river ecosystem. In some areas, they are also hunted or captured illegally, despite being protected by conservation laws. Local legends often portray these dolphins as magical creatures, capable of transforming into humans, which has helped foster a cultural connection to them, but has not been enough to ensure their survival. The real monsters here are once again humanity, who have not been taking care of the rivers that these dolphins live in, and as a result, their population numbers are in decline. Number 5. Kangaroo fish. This is not some made-up fish. Yes, it does exist, and for some animals it poses a serious threat. This is due to the fact that these fish are parasites, meaning that they feed on the blood of other fish by attaching themselves to them through their gills. Ironically, not only is this established, but they also have the means to make it happen thanks to their relatively little stature. Their frames may literally burrow into host bodies so that they can do their thing, and they can grow as big as 40 centimeters, but they can also be considerably smaller than that. That is horrific in and of itself, but it is not the primary purpose of our visit. The fish is on this list because, according to urban mythology, they were infecting people by swimming up the male reproductive channel, if you get my meaning. The legend goes that they would enter a host organism through an organ and then sail downstream on the current of their own pee. Because the story went viral, this fish became the most feared predator in the world. You shouldn't be too worried about this happening to you, though, because there have never been any verified instances of it. Plus, let's just say it's scientifically implausible that one could ride the urine stream of another. That concludes our tour of the Amazon and its many magnificent inhabitants, as well as the reasons behind their hideous appearance. Number 4. Red-bellied piranha. What could be more terrifying than a piranha, the most terrifying of the river creatures that inhabit the Amazon? You may be familiar with the negative portrayal of these characters in film and television, but you could be shocked. Although piranhas pose a threat and can be rather frightening in large schools, species such as the red-bellied piranha are not necessarily something to be afraid of every day. While they may display violent behavior when it comes to food, it's important to note that they are actually omnivores, not carnivores. Even though it may come as a surprise, they are perfectly content to eat plant-based food rather than pursuing any type of meat. But that's not even the most peculiar part, because they are more akin to scavengers than full-on hungry hunters. These aquatic predators have earned the nickname vultures of the water. What's more, they don't always go after meat. To top it all off, they often exclusively prey on creatures that are near death or near death. That way, they can savor their food without worrying about being interrupted or misplaced. And just in case you needed more convincing, piranhas don't actually eat in packs despite how films portray them. Individual piranhas can consume whole humans in an instant when threatened. Red-bellied piranhas will only defend themselves in schools. Nature and popular culture are similar in that regard. You can't expect them to complement each other. Unlike sharks, piranhas have long been the subject of exaggerated portrayals of their personalities and habits. Because of this, people will be overly afraid of them when they really need to be wary. While it's true that you shouldn't provoke a piranha, it's also unnecessary to constantly scan the water or have your guard up in the event that one decides to pounce on your boat. Number 3. The electric eel. Now, let's move on to another iconic river monster, which poses a tremendous threat yet might not actually be as lethal as you think. In terms of its power, the electric eel is exactly what it is supposed to be. In case you were wondering, it has organs inside its body that can store electrical energy and then discharge it at 650 volts, which, just so you know, is more than the voltage in your average power outlet. That discharge, according to some, can reach voltages of more than 800 volts. The electric eel uses this shocking ability not only for defense but also for hunting, as it can stun its prey, making it easier to capture. Interestingly, it can also emit low-voltage pulses to navigate murky waters, acting almost like a biological radar system. Scientists have discovered that the eel's electrical organs are made up of thousands of specialized cells called electrocytes, which work together to generate the powerful current. When hunting, the electric eel often uses a two-step strategy, first delivering a small shock to force hidden prey to move, and then following up with a stronger jolt to immobilize it. Despite its fearsome reputation, the electric eel is a solitary creature, preferring to avoid unnecessary confrontations unless provoked. In fact, its electrical discharges are so energy-intensive that it can take hours for the eel to fully recharge after a series of shocks. This makes it a highly efficient predator but also one that uses its power sparingly. This aquatic creature, which is not technically an eel, employs an electrical charge that it amplifies in order to frighten or kill its enemies. Is it, therefore, capable of killing humans? Well, one wouldn't say that. Not even provoked will it attack a human. A good jolt at most would be enough to temporarily stun you, even while you're completely buried in water and in bad health. Number 2. The Goliath bird-eating tarantula. Why are we finally getting to spiders after going through the whole list? Of course, they are just spiders, right? That automatically labels them as monsters, doesn't it? Yes, it is the largest spider in the world in terms of mass, reaching a maximum length of 13 centimeters and a weight of approximately 6.2 ounces. Known as the Goliath bird-eater, this massive arachnid is native to the rainforests of South America, where it thrives in the dense undergrowth. Despite its intimidating size, the Goliath bird-eater primarily feeds on insects, worms, and small amphibians, using its powerful fangs to subdue its prey. Its name comes from an 18th century account of one being observed eating a hummingbird, though such occurrences are rare. The spider's fangs, which can grow up to 2.5 centimeters long, are strong enough to pierce human skin, but its venom is not lethal to humans. Its bite is often compared to a wasp sting. Interestingly, the Goliath bird-eater has another defense mechanism. It can rub its legs together to release tiny, barbed hairs into the air, which can irritate the skin and eyes of potential predators. These hairs, combined with its sheer size, make it a creature that few animals dare to challenge. As ironic as it may seem, it actually doesn't consume birds very frequently. The fact that it has been observed preying on hummingbirds suggests that this is not an insurmountable obstacle. Number 1. Green anaconda. After all, snakes are pretty safe bets. Even Indiana Jones finds them repulsive. Therefore, why should anybody else? Plus, the snake we are about to describe isn't your average rat snake. It is the enormous green anaconda, a gigantic serpent that ranks among the world's largest and heaviest in terms of body mass. The snake in question is capable of reaching lengths of over 7 meters and weights of about 277 kilograms on occasion. The irony is that most of those green anaconda measurements are derived from specimens that have already been captured and measured. Therefore, it's not out of the question that there could be ones that are larger, longer, and heavier yet undiscovered. However, their monstrousness is truly enhanced by the fact that they are apex predators, meaning that they are not threatened by any natural enemies. This freedom allows them to devour anything they like, and the results are quite unsettling. You see, these snakes are known to devour their victims whole. They're perfectly capable of doing so regardless of how big the prey is compared to their mouths. They will dislocate their mouth in order to stuff themselves with food. A large belly bulge indicates that the animal has just eaten and is digesting its food very slowly. So, keep that in mind if you come across one of these in the Amazon. Its monstrousness is further enhanced by the fact that it can forage for food from trees as well as land and waterways. Everything is within this snake's grasp. Even if you were to travel to the Amazon at this very moment, you wouldn't have to worry about the snake attacking you because, fortunately, they don't eat humans. Did we miss any creatures? Let us know in the comments. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, click on the video appearing on your screen now to catch up on our previous content.